Okay, hi, hello, people, and welcome to Take Apart My Mind. This is Moral High Ground, where I talk about what's morally right. Okay, I'm trying to. I make too many things and I mix my titles with shows up. So that's what that is. It's a future upcoming thing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so, you know, I'm talking about uh, building a better society. And it starts with trying to reset, grand reset of humanity, starting with the homeless situation and any women and men and children that are wayward and lost in the streets and a part of whatever society they're creating. And I'm talking about making a grand building structure, facility uh, where it helps the homeless and people rehabilitate themselves into a better society. And I'm not just talking about homeless in that case. I'm talking about criminals. I'm talking about abused women. I'm talking about abandoned kids, orphans, uh, whatever. I'm talking about humanity. And I believe the best way to try to change it for the better is to work on trying to change the people way of thinking. And to do this is with the people that are out there suffering, struggling, working jobs and not getting, satisfied enough. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about changing these ways of thinking that these people have and making a better society. So in the first part, I was talking about men uh, re-educating themselves on how to be men, finding things that make them healthy again, things get rid of boredom, because this is why a lot of chaos happens, is because men are bored. And I was talking about how to uh, ultimately make men stronger again and give them hope and a purpose and all kinds of different other things. And I was talking about doing this within a facility just for men, uh, and an agency for men. Now, one thing about this is I want to make this very clear. This isn't a place that I'm thinking about where people stay there and they don't leave. It ain't like some weird cult situation or some manipulation of humanity to where you can do perversions and shit. No, people are free to leave whenever they feel. I'm just trying to make it to where almost like they're being um, kept safe from things in the world and are able to get the tools to go out and face the world. So I'm just saying that. So it doesn't matter if I'm talking about men, women, or children. These people can ultimately leave at any time. You have to say this because there's too many places in the past that were founded that were meant to keep people closed in, to keep secrets that are dark in. Then later on, you find out there's this big scandal of all kinds of chaos and sexual perversions and evil, demented uh, stuff. We'll just say. And I don't want to go there. My thing is to try to fix the way people think to make a better world. Because there's a great darkness out there, and if we're not trying to pick the tools up from the past and things that help us fight against this darkness that's coming across America, then we're doomed to fall and doomed to face it. So today I'm talking about a facility that's for women. Now, this goes back 2 episodes ago where I was talking about the safety of women, and it goes back further than that when I started doing this thing on YouTube explaining uh, what I feel is morally right. And it goes a little bit deeper into some stuff I thought of in the past, way before I even created my podcast or anything online. And because I've known a lot of women that suffered a lot of different things, both family members, friends, even loved ones. And I have to say, women are prone to more victimization and abuse than men, even though men go through a hell of a lot more physically when it comes to challenges, not just physically, mentally too. So you have to be mentally sharp most of the time. And then some guys that aren't mentally sharp go directly to the physically because they have no way to fight back because they're not that intelligent. So the thing about it is, women need safety in all kinds of ways, and so it's not just about safety; it's about re-education of women and motherhood, and just ultimately women altogether. And the reason why I say this is because there's so many things going on right now when it comes to the feminist stuff and all that. Okay, and the being reinverting, the sexual prowess to where it seems like every woman's turning into a whore, wearing all kinds of clothes and things that make guys attractive, but yet they can't stay in stable relationships. So the main thing is, and I think another thing is, God's missing from the picture in a lot of these people's relationships, and even those that do have God don't have the intelligence, or should I say, not the intelligence. Listen, I'm not trying to insult people, but what I'm trying to say is they don't have the inspiration, the desire to truly obtain the knowledge for themselves. I think this needs to be a thing that's taught. If you're going to know about God or anything, you should go pick up a book and learn for yourself, and it will lead you on a real big journey. It'll lead you to a journey of learning about the Apocrypha, the Torah, take Hebrew studies like I did, and a couple other places and things. And it's a big journey, because then you will find out that mostly every religion is connected. And it's not so much that God doesn't want you to pick another faith, He's trying to spread His knowledge of positivity and love to every culture. And that's what I believe. And this is why anybody that studies the religion will tell you similar thing, that it's all somewhat connected, you know. But when it comes to women, I believe they need a facility to teach them defense, teach them how to fight against people physically in a way that hasn't been taught before. They could take the things that work that women are good at doing when it comes to fighting and protecting themselves, and add on to that with other things that may be easier for them to do. I think education is a must when women need to learn a lot of things to make them truly equal on a man's level. I don't think that you're 100% on that level, because guys will do things that women won't even try to do. They'll say, "Oh, that's gross," or "Oh, that's nasty," or some crap, and we're in there digging in sewers, or you know, dealing with garbage dumps and stuff like that. And girls wouldn't do that, and I've never seen one try to really. And that's just me. And so these type of things have to be taught, because just in case of annihilation of the human race and there's no males around, someone has to pick up the slack, and that's just a prediction. So, with that being said, because there's more women than men, so women have to learn these type of trades. At the same time, I believe a home ec thing has to be a mandatory thing. Women need to know how to cook, how to sew, bring these things back, how to weave. One of the greatest goddesses ever, Athena, goddess of war, warfare, knowledge and weaving. She was a great weaver, and she went against Arachnia, which later on we all know is the term for spiders and scorpions and every other eight-legged insect, which I guess they wouldn't call it insects, arachnic. I can't even say it right. But they have to learn how to do these things again. That way they can make clothing for their children. And then it also is a good trade to learn. If you want to get into fashion, you can make clothing with weaving and sewing and so forth. So women have to learn these trades again. They have to learn the trades of women going far back. And not just that, learn about every woman that was in power, so they can build that confidence. And men already got that. We got all kinds of people from every race that's been in power, but women don't really know these things. They look at people like Nancy Pelosi or the Queen of England or something, and that's the best they got with women in power. They got women that did a lot of knowledge, a lot of reading, writing, and like people talk about Anne Rice, or they'll talk about Rosa Parks or some women that made a meaning uh, or stood up and did something with their lives. But women need to know more about power, like, Cleopatra or something like that. And they need to understand what that means. Not just a let's stand up for women, victory, one sided crap, but a woman's nature of empathy and a royal setting is more positive than someone that's abusing power or manipulating it for their own will. And so that's something that needs to be taught. Again, is empathy. And it has to be done in a certain way where all women feel confident in themselves. And the sexual prowess thing is something that shouldn't be a main priority in a woman's life because let's just face it, that's the way we mate, that's the way we populate, and that's the way it's always going to go. It always has been and always will. So, however, a woman learns how to seduce and all that, that's meaningless to the grand scale of trying to find a mate. Okay, it has to be about listening, understanding, learning how to work with the opposite sex, learning how opposite sex thinks, not in a way where they were thinking a lot of stuff people say about men thinking is really crazy shit, and it's not even factual or real. I read a fitness article a long time ago, and the thing tripped me out because they were saying they literally said all men think this way. They said all men don't change their bed sheets and blankets and stuff. They do it once every 6 to 8 months. And I'm thinking to myself, I change mine every time I think them fuckers is dirty. And it don't take 6 to 8 months to do it. But they said all men do this, and that's not the truth. You can't say all men if you only know a small selection or you only know several that do that. That doesn't mean every man does that. So this is something where women have to understand uh, how men operate on a whole different level, not just the level one type of people. And I have to say one type of people because it could be bodybuilders, it could be businessmen, it could be, a factory worker dude, it could be any of that. Depending on the work you do and the lifestyle you're living, you're going to have a different type of man every time. And so a woman has to focus on trying just to please a man as a man. And the main thing is we're simple. We just want to relax and come home to something that make us happy and comfortable and familiar. And so these are things women need to be taught. How to make a guy feel comfortable, how to give him something familiar, and how to make it simple and relaxing. So that they always keep him in. And that's the truth. And so those things have to be taught. Ultimately, a woman can be competitive. I believe so. Men are a little bit more competitive. And so, with this being said, this facility would have to teach women sports and things that they can do, depending on what age they are. It really doesn't matter, but teach them how to be more physically active and have a competitive nature with women in a positive setting, not like some reality show crap where they're screaming, "Oh, you keep coming for me, ah, bitch, ah," all that nonsense. Okay, like really in a good positive way. And at the same time, I believe uh, nursing type of thing has to be done because let's face it, formulas might be bad thing for a lot of kids. They have to learn how to nurse them better. They have to learn how to, I guess you call it swaddle a baby, and all these type of things you want to teach kids, or have a woman know when she's raising a kid. And so a daycare center for those who have kids and are struggling, and even the education system for them as well. And so I believe that's a number one priority next to health. And I'm going to say it's the same thing as what I said with the men. We need to have certain herbal supplements, vitamins, plant-based products to steadily be inside a woman, to make her feel more stronger again. Exercise and stuff works too, but I would think of physical body would need these things like probiotics and things like that, even more with a woman than a male, because uh, women have so much different, um, I guess, emotional things and physical things going on that guys don't. So they need these things. Especially there's always some big like thing going on with periods. So I don't know. They got things for all kinds of stuff with periods and things. So and maybe I'm just a dude and I sound stupid saying that, but let's just be real. Women need better health. And so if we have a facility, they have to have this better health, both for when they're pregnancy and when they're not. And then you also need something to where it helps their mental state. Because I think women get stuck in a certain way of thinking and they can't find anything else better to think about. They'll remember things far back when a guy only remembers something mostly that's physical that happened, like fighting or whatnot. And so, any kind of confrontation, really, guys remember it more than, what a woman will remember daily. That might be charming or sweet to them or whatever the hell. So this is something that has to be looked into. And so I just believe a woman needs more focus on her health mentally and physically. And that's what this facility should have within it as well. Once again, like I said before, when I was talking about men, they have to have a big selection of religious stuff, books and stuff. I mean, every religion of every kind. And someone to explain things, not just tell them what they want to hear because that's the way they think. You know, like where would I find, like a girl walked up and said, where would I find this story of Ruth? And then they go in the Bible, go bang, here, go to the Book of Ruth. Or, here's the story of Esther. Esther's right there. Just whatever woman in the Bible that they want to know about. Jezebel. Jezebels and Kings or Judges, one of the two, I forget now. But the thing about it is they have to know these things so they can feel more humble. And it's about not just being humble, but finding a way to deal with things in a better term. The Bible might be history and it might be the Word of God, depending on how you feel. And at the same time, though, it's a lot of philosophy and wisdom within there, especially through Psalms and Proverbs, Isaiah, and I can't even say it as Ecclesiastes. I can't even say it right now. But anyway, so these things have to be taught and give a woman a little bit more strength and confidence in herself. And I believe all types of skills and jobs and things. This is why I was saying they have to learn these old trades like weaving and sewing, like basket making. I don't care anything. I have to learn these things so they'd be more easier to create businesses that haven't been thought of and things like that, as well as learning other things about plants. And yes, I said plants because women like gardening, at least a lot that are more older and calmer or whatever. They like gardening, and I think that's because it's calming thing to them, and it grows like flowers and plants and things. So I believe gardening is a good thing, but I think the thing is now that people forgot what certain plants mean. It's actually a study, some kind of botany type of thing. So learn about certain herbs, certain flowers, certain vegetables and things that'll make the body feel better. Learn all these things that way you can get rid of the medicine that's out there in the market, both over the counter and in subscribed, and be able to use it to help people when the time comes and it needs to. And so if women know these things, then they're automatic mages, and there's some kind of magical, mystical spell and things. I don't know. I'm just saying that because I watched that Dungeons and Dragons. It's kind of cool. But I went off topic, but still, it's something that really needs to be taught. And I think that we have to find alternatives to modern medicine because a lot of things is killing us off. If you think about people living hundreds of years and yet we're getting all this stuff that's killing us off quicker than shit. And so it has to be looked at. And so with women, it's the number one priority to keep the one being, the one group of beings that can help continue the human race alive. And so we want to make sure they're protected, they're safe, got all kinds of resources that come their way when they're in this facility, as well as teach them law, teach them medical. I mean, nursing's always automatic, so teach them stuff that helps them not just nurse, but become like Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. You know, we want Dr. Quinn, medicine women all over the place, just going around doing things. There was this one episode of Xena where she was on a boat and she was doing all this medical shit. So Xena can be freaking Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. You can too. And then you can be Xena Warrior, Prince of Hell. You know, jump around, go, yeah, 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 and throw your thing. Or Wonder Woman, I don't know. But any woman can be Wonder Woman. Any woman can be Superwoman. You just got to find the right time and place to change your life for the better. And this is what this facility I'm talking about should be able to do. You know, and there's things I might have left out, but one thing more importantly about this facility is, and once again, where I'm talking about the shelters and things like that. And there's nose hair I can't get out. But anyway, is they always have people sign in, and they're always in groups of people on top of people with bunk beds and all that shit. But both facilities I'm talking about, both the male one and the female one that I'm talking about. Now these are fictional right now until someone feels like they want to support my cause and come together and help build these things. Actually, change humanity for the better, change people's way of thinking. Okay, but they have these rooms of their own. And the girls will have rooms of their own. You know, be able to sit in there or whatever, and they're gonna have a roommate if they want one that's still in this facility. You know, males don't live there, just the women. On top of the fact that we don't want them to be, you know, misguiding a woman away from her ultimate positivity and success. We want them to be strong women. And so this is why guys won't be there, until they decide they want to leave at any time. They feel like they had their wisdom and got enough, you know. And I think this would be awesome, you know, for a woman to go out and be prepared for the world and won't let nothing touch her or phase her. And so another thing, it has to be a lesson taught with all types of drugs, cigarettes, vaping, and all this, to where a woman understands the true repercussions of doing these things, because they're most likely more prone, if anything, to becoming drug addicts and things, because guys manipulate them for sex. And it's because they get them high, then they're willing to do anything. And so that's the thing we got to stop. We got to change their way of thinking so they don't fall for that trap. You know, we don't want women to just bellow over and die. They're too hot for that. And so, like, my foot's falling asleep. But so the main focus is trying to educate a woman on being safe, and not just physically, but mentally prepared for any type of challenges somebody might throw their way. Also, I believe a woman's day-to-day basis has to be a form of trying to feel strong in a way that doesn't belittle someone else. I think that's the biggest problem right now. Women talk about how powerful they are, equal, strong, but in the meantime, they're belittling men and things like that, to where they end up alone and lonely. And I don't think any woman should be alone and lonely. I think they should always have some kind of mate, someone that loves them and care for them. You know, give them that father figure or teddy bear or whatever. You know, I had some girl cuss me out a little while ago and tell me, "You think you're a man? You're not a man. You're a teddy bear." And I'm like, okay, I'm a fucking teddy bear. But that was a weird argument. And so my point is this, okay? So I think the ultimate thing is to always find a way to guide people on the right path. And if we can guide women into the right path, men will follow. And not just men, the children are automatically going to follow because their mothers are doing things. And the mothers usually teach the kids the right thing. So if they learn these right things, and they can help, if they learn these right things about housing and housekeeping and even the realtor stuff, women could be better realtors if they understand more about house things. And it has nothing to do with putting a woman in a house and barefoot and pregnant. Who the hell wants them barefoot and pregnant? right away. That's scary, man, especially if you ain't got no money. So that's why that feminist crap don't make no sense. Might have made sense 50, 60 years ago, but you say that crap now, you trying to terrify a dude. Okay, you know, once a barefoot pregnant chick walking around and you ain't got no money to take care of the kids. This is being real, man. Okay, and so that's a delusion of someone's paranoid stoner crap, and that didn't make any sense either. But I know what I'm talking about, and you know I know what I'm talking about because you know it when I'm talking about it. And so, God dog it, I'm all over the place. I had this more prepared, but I am all over the place today. And it's because a woman friend of mine did pass. And it really makes me upset. I didn't realize how much I had love for this woman. And so this is another reason why I'm talking about this today. Came up unexpected because I was supposed to do this. I was going to do this on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but then bam. So I figured I'd do it today. And maybe wrap the other one up tomorrow. But I'm so serious. This isn't just a thing to impress anybody or make anybody say, "Oh wow, this guy's this," and I don't care what you think of me. This is what I think has to happen in society. I think we have to find a way to re-educate, to do the grand reset. I keep saying this is the reset because I think the government's grand reset is to eliminate everyone that they feel that's not worthy or not worth living. This is why we got things like COVID and the homeless situation, all this crap. So people die off, fentanyl, all that. So people die off and they can reset with the people they want to be in society. That's their reset. My reset is to re-educate, re-strengthen, re-health everybody. Just reset a whole concept of society and make it so all sides are protected, strong, and feeling solid. Solid. you know. Uh, but yeah. So this is what has to happen for a better society, and women have to be a little more educated on their limitations of birth, uh, how their organs work, before they. And the reason why I say this is how their organs work is because there's always women getting plastic surgery. A lot of guys and a lot of people talk a lot of shit about it, but if a woman doesn't feel beautiful in herself, then that's a thing. But to me, it's a big money market for people that know how to do plastic surgery. They're taking profit from taking advantage of women's insecurities and making them think they're ugly when they're not. A lot of women ain't ugly. You just got to sit down and talk to the right guy and let them look at you for you, not what you just look like. Something inside you that's more beautiful than what your outside appearance is. Because no one's never taught you that. And so that thing has to be taught that women are beautiful and they don't need all this crap that they're trying to profit. Guys, we waste money on video games and booze and all kinds of stupid shit. But women, they waste way more money. If you think about it, they waste way more money on makeup, clothing, shoes, plastic surgery, feminine hygiene products for their monthly cycles and hair and all this shit. Lots of it, man. So, they're wasting way more money. And then underwear costs a hell of a lot more for a woman than it does for a man. You can probably buy a pack of underwear for like $12. It'd be like, I say a pack because we get like four of them or three. Girls get one giant pair of panties and it costs like $12. And that's not cool. And that's not right. It's unmorally right to give high skyrocket prices for anything like that. The point is, I believe it's morally right to treat a woman right and to make sure she will be living a better lifestyle and more humble and happy and be able to live a life with family that she created. So, with saying this, I believe a grand reset of helping a woman become stronger in the facility I'm talking about will change the world forever and will change society and be better. Women stronger, more confident, without nobody bullshitting them or getting over on them. And I think that God will abide. So, with that being said, This is the great SOK. Peace be with y'all. Till later. And realize always that you are valued. Peace.